All right, so this is from Forbes.com. This is an older article from 2008. This was in the height of the 2008 economic collapse. And so it's important to understand that this is not from today. And from Brian Love. The credit crunch is not nearly as severe as the U.S. authorities appear to believe, and public data actually suggests world credit markets are functioning remarkably well. A report released on Thursday says, as a result, governments are pumping massive amount of public money into the economy across the world because of the difficulties of a few big vocal banks and industries such as car manufacturing, which would be in difficulty anyway, according to the report published by Celent, a financial services consultancy. And it's just stabbing in the dark with trillions of dollars, Octavio Marenzi, report author and head of Celent, told Reuters in a telephone interview where he questioned the depth of the analysis that preceded numerous fiscal stimulus packages. The report, much of which is based on U.S. Federal Reserve data, challenges a long list of assumptions one by one, arguing that there is indeed a financial crisis, but that on aggregate, the problems of a few are by no means those of the many when it comes to obtaining credit. It is startling that many of Federal Reserve Chairman Ben Bernanke and Treasury Secretary Henry Paulson's remarks are not supported or are flatly contradicted by the data provided by the very organizations they lead, said the report. Perhaps the U.S. Central Bank and Treasury Department and authorities in other countries by extension know something they are not telling anyone, and which is far more worrying than the public data shows, the report says. Or, more plausibly, they were generalizing erroneously from the bad experience of a limited number of big banks and companies that are in any case in difficulty. It's kind of written weird. It doesn't read right. If I could get this to scroll, it'd be nice. I don't think they're fabricating stuff, yeah, right. But what I think they are doing is taking the situation of a handful of institutions and generalizing that to the market as a whole incorrectly, said Marenzi. The picture appeared to be broadly similar in much of Europe and Japan, said the report, based on publicly available data on trends in banking, lending to industry, households, and among banks themselves in the so-called interbank markets. Regarding U.S. business access to credit, the report says, overall, U.S. bank lending is at its highest level ever and has grown during the current financial crises. U.S. commercial bank lending is at record highs and growing particularly fast since May of 2007. Corporate bond issuance has declined, but increased commercial lending has compensated for this. As for the interbank market, it says, lending hit its highest level ever in September 2008 and remained high in October, and that overall interbank lending is up 22% since the start of the financial crisis, taken to be mid-2007. The cost of interbank lending, as measured by the interest rates banks charge each other for lending overnight, Fed funds, dropped to its lowest level ever in early November and remains at very low levels. Marenzi said one of the other measures used by many to gauge interbank lending, the LIBOR rate, was a flawed gauge since it was based on daily observations of 8 banks, many of which were banks with particularly severe difficulties of their own. The report argues similarly on consumer credit, which it said was at record high in September, the latest date for publicly available data. So I'm running out of time on this video at 40 seconds, and there's still more to go here. I got from Tom Wood's book Meltdown, which he discussed how basically the very reason for the bailout was completely fabricated. And I got to this story after reading this one here from Bloomberg. Bernanke's qualitative easing 2 averts deflation, spurs credit. So what I wanted to do was illustrate to you everything we're doing did not need to be done in any way, shape, or form. Could they be trying to destroy it? I don't know.